We happened to kind of get involved in when the Word of Faith was really being introduced and kind of going strong in the mid-'80s. I think about that time, Brother and Sister Copeland may have been having the once a week service on television. For me, it was just like going to Bible school every time I watched it. But I think I actually became partners in 1986, sowing what I could at that time. And we just began to progress. As I was watching Brother Copeland's television broadcast, he and John Avazzini had a week or 2 week teaching on war on debt. I listened to that, and Debbie and I attended our first Southwest Believers Convention in 1991. And John Avazzini taught about debt freedom, and just made the decision that, well, I'm going to move in that direction.
I think when we left that convention, Ronald went home and he said, Debbie, God is telling the body of Christ to get out of debt based on what John Avazzini ministered that year. And so we made a decision that we were going to get ourselves out of debt.
We didn't have a whole lot of debt. I think we had, Debbie had a little school debt. We owed on our automobiles. We might have had a little credit card debt, but we had a mortgage, which seemed impossible.
Yes.
It was just really hard to believe that, we could get from under that. But we started applying the principles. We were really encouraged by Brother Copeland ministering to the body of Christ about getting out of debt. It got to the point where all we had left was the mortgage. Okay, and we applied another principle where he said, well, just add a little bit more on your mortgage debt, right? And how you'll knock off the back end of the interest. So we started applying a little bit more on the principal. And then we started paying like double principal, right? And it just continued to accelerate. We began to see light at the end of the tunnel. It was still a little ways off, but we were starting to see a little bit light at the end of the tunnel. And I'll let Debbie elaborate a little bit, because when people ask us and we talk about getting out of debt, she always mentions, well, we didn't, we ended up borrowing one more time. So I'll let her share with that, and then I'll.
Because Ronald said, well, Debbie, we're at the point where it's not to our advantage to have a house note. So we went to the bank and we refinanced the home.
Right.
So we refinanced the home for 5 years, and we paid it off in 2.5 years.
And Debbie and I walked into our financial institution, and I remember hearing the voice of Brother Copeland when he paid off his last debt, and he said he looked at that banker in the face and he said, "Oh, no man nothing but to love him." And from that decision, from that word, we took that, and since 2002, we have not borrowed any money, and we have not needed to. God has met every need. Not only our needs, we've been able to bless others. We're committed to the ministry, because it's changed our lives.
Yeah.
I think that's what I would say.
Yeah.
It has completely transformed and absolutely changed our lives. This is like Brother Copeland says, we're one in a million.